Welcome back, everybody, to another Just Talking Ball podcast. Today, I'm going to be going over the Broncos Chiefs game. Uh, Absolutely huge game for the Broncos. I cannot wait to dive into this one more because, like I said, this was a huge game for the Broncos, one of our biggest ones in a while. I'll talk about it a little bit more later, but hey, that kind of helped us lock up the one seed in the AFC West, in my opinion, a little bit. Talked about last podcast again. I'll talk about a little later on this one. So yeah, before we jump in, I know there's a different day of posting than I usually do. Been a little busier the past couple days, so we're talking about here on Wednesday. But that's all good because we got the bye week and everything. I'm gonna have a pretty big podcast coming out next week, during kind of our official bye week. Um, so I can't wait to get into this game. So before we get started, please like, subscribe, share. All support's much appreciated. I've been having lots of fun doing these. And yeah, let's just try to keep growing. So share this wherever you can. So, like I said, this game coming into it, everyone knew this was a huge game for the Broncos. Um, this was a game where we really just needed to go in and get a W and cement ourselves as a real contender. Because coming into this week, the Chiefs were the Super Bowl favorites on most betting sites everywhere. And people still regarded them as such on talk shows, on other podcasts, on all that. So um, everybody regarded the Chiefs as Super Bowl favorites pretty much. Obviously, now they're trying to turn the narrative. Oh, the Chiefs are just trash. The Broncos aren't really that good. The Chiefs are just that bad. But nah, that's not the truth. Um, the Broncos are legit, and we proved it this week. There's no doubt about it. We are a legit Super Bowl contender right here, right now, this year. There's not a doubt about it in my mind. We went out and we beat a team that has owned the AFC West for almost the past decade. We went out and Bo Nix outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Our defense continued to be locked down, and we walked them off in classic Broncos 2025 fashion. It was just a classic 2025 Denver Broncos win. And yes, we do play, at times, we've played down to bad teams. Um, that's something we got to clean up. But like I said, we went out, we beat the Chiefs, who, I mean, they were regarded as the Super Bowl favorites. I don't want anybody twisting that narrative now. We beat the Super Bowl favorites. And earlier this year, we went out and we beat the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning Super Bowl champions. So we beat the two teams that went and made the Super Bowl last year. Obviously, a new year, it's all different, but that's a pretty big statement, if you ask me. We we went out there, we beat both of them. We beat them in clutch time, especially where two teams that just made the Super Bowl, they got vets. Clutch time is kind of where they thrive. Crunch time, my bad, I've been saying clutch. Um, but we went out there and we beat them. We had a huge comeback against the Eagles. In this Chiefs game, we did have a little bit of a comeback, but we really just outplayed them in the fourth quarter, especially Bo Nix on Patrick Mahomes. There's just no doubt about it. I don't want anybody switching the narrative up. The Denver Broncos are 2025 Super Bowl contenders. There's zero doubt. There's zero argument to say otherwise. I know people still try to spin that, but I mean, frankly, they're just idiots. They're just hating to hate because the Denver Broncos are a legit team. They have a clutch quarterback. They have a Super Bowl winning head coach. They got a generationally good defense. I said it, generationally good defense. Our defense is absolutely insane. Um, and we got clutch receivers too. Our team is just clutch. That's how you define the 2025 Denver Broncos. We are a clutch football team. We always, sure, we don't turn it up the first three quarters some days, but eventually I think that's going to start clicking. And once it does, it is scary hours for the league because even if they keep up with us until the fourth quarter is our quarter. That's where we're going to take over, and that's where we're going to finish ball games out. Um, so as long as teams don't, I mean, I almost said as long as they don't put up 30 on us before the fourth, but hey, we had I forget what the comeback exactly was against the Giants, but we scored 33 in one quarter in the fourth quarter. So man, we can win football games the way we've been playing. I know that's been a thing coming into this about is this winning sustainable? I personally said it's not really that sustainable. Um, but I mean, it's looking like it is. It's going to be harder in the playoffs, obviously, because even if you drop one, you're done. So obviously, we still do need to pick it up a little. It's not like a guaranteed winning formula or anything, but we can win with the way we're playing. So that's what I'm trying to say there. So I touched on it last podcast. My expectations coming into this game were it would probably be a fight. The Chiefs are a really good football team. I don't care what the record says. They are a good team. Um, they have Patrick Mahomes. They have Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo. That they got a great all-around team, and the Denver Broncos beat them. I don't want to hear anything else about that. The Denver Broncos went out and we beat them in a game that was kind of expected to end how it did. I mean, close game until the very end, and then I wasn't really maybe expecting a game winner. It wasn't gonna surprise me, but a game-winning field goal got done. So uh, the Denver Broncos just we keep rolling on. Just just a huge W, just amazing W. And now we got the bye week. We're 9-2. The Denver Broncos are 9-2. They haven't done that in a while. I don't know the exact date, but they have not done that in a long, long, long time. Um, so yeah, let's just kind of get right into some things I picked up from during this game because there were a lot of really good positive points for the Denver Broncos. There really weren't all that much negative. I mean, you can look at some receiver drops, but like I'll get into later, they redeemed themselves down the stretch. Especially Troy Franklin. He had a really good game down the stretch. So yeah, so I mean, just really some points from this game that I got is Bo Nix balled out. He straight up went out and balled out. Sure, the stats don't look like tip top. He didn't have like 100 rating or anything, but a big reason of that is he didn't have any touchdowns because we um because there were play calling blunders in the end zone. There was a tipped pass that would have been a touchdown. Um, it was it was just a really good game against a really good defense because the Chiefs coming into this were a top 10 defense in almost I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure they were top 10 in like every defensive category. So I mean, that's like really good to go out there and beat them. Scored 22 on them obviously. So I mean, yeah, Bo just had he just had a really nice game again. Again, the stats don't say, "Oh my goodness, he cooked, what a generational quarterback." But 24 for 37, 295 yards, uh, 8 8 yards per pass. That's pretty good. 89 rating, and in the fourth quarter, not as good as I thought it would be, but he went 7 for 14, 84 yards, and obviously had the game-winning drive to for Will Lutz to kick game-winning field goal. Um, I mean that's a really good game from a quarterback. Again, going up against a really good defense, and he went out there and he just balled out. Frankly, from the get go, really, he was cooking. Again, we stalled down the end zone multiple times, red zone multiple times. That's disappointing, but again, against a really good defense, it's gonna happen. And still, our defense is insane, so we can afford to have some lack of offense production. But again, like I've said, um, games like the Raiders, we're gonna need more than that to beat the really good teams. So I mean, yeah, Bo, he just really balled out. Stats don't show it this year, but he is having a very good year. He started slow multiple games. That's there's no doubt about that. He's looked absolutely unplayable some quarters in games, but then once that fourth quarter comes around, he will always ball out. Once the fourth quarter comes around, he is just a switch flips. Um, Flip switches? Yeah, no, that doesn't work. um, a, a switch flips. My bad. Um, he just completely turns it around in the fourth. It's amazing to see from him. Um, I just love to. Bo's just been balling out, man. There's no way around it. He's just been absolutely balling out, and I just love to see it. Because that's what you need out of a franchise QB. Even if it's not pretty, he's gonna go out there and he's gonna get you the dub in the fourth quarter. And that's kind of what he's been doing all season. We know what he can do when he's at his best. We saw it last year. Um, we've seen it in the Bengals and Cowboys game, apart from those interceptions. It's just been inconsistency really this year and going into last year too. But still, he's really balling out. I'm not wavering as much as I was before on Bo because he just went out there and beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who have ran this division for most of the past decade. He went out there, he balled out, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. You cannot criticize that much, like at all. Um, so he's getting a much deserved bye. Hopefully he can reset even more. That kind of I feel like obviously happened when they got their mini bye because the Raiders game and this game were total opposites from Bo. So hopefully he can reset even more and he can really just string along some elite QB play for the rest of this year because we know he can. He's shown it multiple times. Um, so I mean, yeah. So another part that's been wishy-washy throughout the year, but always comes through in the fourth, is the play calling. This time, I think the play calling was really good all around, all game. With the rest of the offense, it did struggle in the red zone. Again, good defense. So I mean, I don't know, but overall, it was a really good game from Sean and Bo. Sean was calling good plays. He was scheming guys open. Bo was hitting them. Bo was making tough throws. Um, I mean, just really the only critique play calling wise I have is that first drive. I'm pretty sure running it on first and goal and second and goal. With RJ was kind of I don't know. I'm pretty sure we ran it kind of like up the middle with him on both of those. So would love to see some. Excuse me, man, a little tired. Um, would love to see something a little different there, but again, great defense. You can't complain too much. I mean, like I said about Bo, you just cannot complain too much because this was a big time W against a good team. Um, there's nothing more you can really say. Um, just to I do this every week, but man, this defense is so good. Um, this defense is just like it's really generational. Um, just absolutely balling out every single game, shutting down the best offenses. Look at the Cowboys. Um, Eagles' offense isn't as good, but they're still solid defense. I mean, they did decent against the Colts, but still, just they've just been shutting down everybody they played, and I mean, they've just been generation. There's no other words. They're on pace to break multiple records. I'm pretty sure. The sacks one is a guarantee. They have allowed the least amount of touchdowns, tied with the LA Rams at 17. They've only allowed 17 touchdowns in 11 games. That's crazy. That's crazy. And one of those is a garbage time touchdown against the Cowboys. Joe Milton to Tolbert, maybe. I forget who exactly that was to for the Cowboys, but that was a garbage time touchdown. Um, so I'm not reading too much into that. So really, we're at like 16. There's probably another garbage time one in there, so you could say 15. Um, I mean, this defense is just amazing. We got 49 sacks. That leads the league. Um, we're only allowing 17 points per game, which is the uh, third best in the NFL, behind the Rams once again and the Texans. It's just this defense is amazing, and we're doing this. Most of these past couple games have been without PS2, the reigning defensive player of the year, um, somebody who's kind of regarded as a top. I don't know. I would say top 15 quarterback cornerback of all time already. Um, I don't know what other people would say, but he's definitely on their all time list somewhere. Um, and it's definitely above the top 30, I would say. So doing that without him, and then this past game we're missing. You can say whatever about his play. You're missing your green dot captain, Alex Singleton. Um, I mean, it's just amazing how good this defense is, even when we're missing guys. This secondary is just from top to bottom is amazing. Chris Abrams Drain had a great game. Riley Moss is the one that um is the one you can really critique, and rightfully so. He commits penalties left and right. Um, when PS2 is back, I would love to see Cad and Barron kind of take Riley's role together, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And I don't know if I've said it on Twitter yet, but I've said it in some group chats and everything. Uh, Riley, if I was in charge, I don't know if he'd be on the team next year. Um, I mean, if he wanted to become backup, he would be a perfectly fine backup. He'd be a great backup. But I think Cad and Barron are just that good. And the penalties are just really becoming an issue for Riley. So that's the only flaw really in this defense, I think. Yeah, the cornerback play just amazing, and then the MVP from this game, probably in my opinion, Jaquan McMillan. Wow, he's been he's been amazing this year. He talked about wanting to be a Pro Bowl cornerback. He's playing like one. He's playing like an All Pro cornerback, maybe. Um, he went out there. He had an interception and two huge sacks on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Um, and I don't know his numbers giving up receptions and all that, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty dang good. I mean, again, he's just gone out there and balled out every single week, and he just really took over this last week. It's just this defense is amazing. Coming into this year, I said this would be the best Broncos defense of all time. Most of the season, it's shown that that's a real possibility. I would love to see an increase in turnovers, which we did kind of see last week with the interception by McMillan, like I said. So I mean, we gotta see how the rest of the season plays out and the postseason. But that take's not looking real bad right about now. That take's not looking all that awful right now. In the beginning, I was kind of down at myself. I didn't know what else to say for a hot take for this team, but hey, it's not looking all that bad. That's all I'm gonna say. This defense has just been amazing. Top 10 in basically every single category. No, we're top 5 in every single defensive category apart from takeaways, where we are way down in 27th. So that's the one aspect where I would love to see them do better is takeaways. Um, so I mean, yeah, they've just been amazing. Another part of this team that's been amazing that people still find a way to hate on for. I got no idea why we decided to hate on them, but the rookies. On the stat sheet for, I'll start with RJ Harvey. On the stat sheet for him, it doesn't turn out to be the most amazing game ever. 11 carries for 30 yards. That's 2.7 on average. 50 total yards, so that means he had 20 receptions. 20 yards on 3 receptions. Um, I mean that's not. It's not an amazing game, but against a really good defense in your first NFL start where you're getting the bulk carries, that's pretty solid. It really is. I don't care what people try to say about that. That's pretty solid. And then in the fourth quarter, when the team needed him to really pick up some tough yards, I think he really kind of came through. It was only 3.5 per carry then, which isn't like amazing, but he had some really big 4 and 3 yard runs in the fourth quarter. And he wasn't fumbling obviously. It was a really solid game against a really solid defense. I can't wait to see what he can do being the primary back against teams like the Commanders, the Raiders. I'm missing another game in there. But yeah, he's got some games where he can really come in and uh, do what he does, and He's a very good back. I think we need to give him some more outside carries. He's not between the tackles guy. But I think that's fine. We got to play to a rookie's strengths. He will learn how to run between the tackles better. And I'm not saying don't give him any runs between the tackles, because like I said, games against the Commanders here like that will be a huge time to give him takes up the middle. To really learn. The O line will block really good for him. There's zero doubt about that. No matter who's out there, they will block for you. Um, so I mean, yeah, RJ, he looked really good. Pat Bryant was, yeah, he was the best receiver out there. And he's been there a couple games. He had 5 receptions for 82 yards. That's just beautiful to see. Um, he's really increased his playing time this year from doing what he kind of does best at right now, which is blocking. And for a rookie wide receiver, I've said it all year. That is just that's not that heard of. He's a amazing blocker. He tells running backs, he tells people just run behind me. If you see me out there, run behind me. I will block for you. I got you. He said that. Um, it's just he's a amazing player. Uh, it seems like he's an amazing teammate. He's an amazing team player. It's just I'm falling in love with Pat Bryant in real time. I've already really liked RJ coming into this year. I liked Pat obviously, but he's just I mean he's turned into one of my favorite players this year. Again, not saying I didn't like him before, but that's just how much he's grown on me. He does the dirty work, and now he's starting to get the reward for it. He's getting the targets, and he catches the ball. He does not drop the football. Um, I from what I can recall, I don't recall him having like any drops this year. Um, which from a rookie wide receiver on a team that has lots of drops, that's huge. Um, so I mean, Pat Bryant, he had an amazing game. Shows it everywhere on the stat sheet and everything. Plus, he blocks really good. R.J. Harvey, um, doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but I still think he had a really solid game. Excited to see more of him. Obviously, excited to see more of Pat Bryant. I really love our two main offensive rookies there, man. I'm really excited for them. I think they can be big parts of this team for the next 4 or 5 years here as we really have this Super Bowl window with Sean Payton. I mean, it's just been amazing to see. And then our other big rookie, our first round pick, cornerback, very controversial. When we first drafted him, I went insane. I went, I went, I went insane. I had no idea why we were drafting a cornerback. I thought for sure we'd go after a running back, or receiver. But out of the blue, we go after a cornerback who I didn't look into because I didn't think we were drafting him. But hey, that's why I'm not in charge of the Denver Broncos. Jahdae Barron has been amazing for this defense. He has been a absolute lockdown on the best tight ends. He held really what he's doing out there. Let me explain this to y'all. He's guarding the tight ends most of the time when he's out there. Um, Whenever he's out there, he's pretty much always guarding the tight ends. He got, I'm pretty sure, 50% of the snaps this last week, and he shut down Travis Kelsey. He had really good numbers against him. I'm pretty sure only 2 receptions on like 5 targets. He did have a pick six, but it was called back because Kansas City refs, all that. It was a penalty to be fair, but still, I don't know. I feel like that flag could have been picked up pretty easily. That could have easily been a pick six for Jahdae Barron. So I mean, yeah, he's just looking amazing. He's great at tackling. He's great at covering tight ends. He held Ferguson on the Cowboys to no catches. 0 catches for somebody who's been one of the most productive receiving threats, not just tight end, receiving threats in the NFL. He led the league in receptions at one point for a tight end. Um, that's just he's been amazing. There's just no other way around it. He's proven why he was a first round pick, and he's just been amazing this year. There's no way around it. I don't want to see anybody try. I don't want to see anybody disrespect Jahdae Barron anymore because he's been an amazing pick, and his role is only gonna get bigger as the years go on. Um, because I don't know. I really hope we do pay J Mac this offseason, but if we don't, Barron will have to slide into that slot corner role. Like I've said, kind of hope we bench Riley, keep J Mac, um, and let Barron and Cad kind of share snaps, getting that CB2 role, plus Barron really going in there to guard tight ends. He could get probably 70% of the snaps doing all that. So, I mean, I would just love to see that because the rookies have just been outstanding. Another defensive rookie who's been doing really good in limited time is Q Robinson. Um, it doesn't say it on the stat sheet. Kind of shocking. I thought he would have at least half a sack, but he didn't. That's fine. He's just been amazing as well. Again, really limited time, so nothing really pops out to you on the stat sheet or nothing. He has 3 QB hits, uh, point 0.3 QB hits per game. I don't know how many total. I'm pretty sure that'd be about like three. This isn't going to show me. Is it? Oh no, that's only one quarterback hit. Okay. He also has half a sack. Kind of should be one sack. I think he had one against KC, or that should have been called half a sack for him. He has a TFL, 8 tackles. He's just been really good. He's been flying around. Something that happened to the whole defense this past week is everyone was getting held. You can say Chiefs whistle or whatever, but it kind of happens every week with this team. Nick Bonino is literally getting held on like every single snap, and that's like being generous. He's like getting held coming out of the locker room, pretty much. It seems like. And he's still a top leader in sacks and QB pressures and all that. So Nick's been amazing. This defense has just been so amazing. I cannot overstate it enough. This defense is just so good. I mean, there's no other way around it. And we're doing all this while not 100%. So I just love what I'm seeing from this defense, man. This defense is just so amazing. Dre Greenlaw, he's been an absolute dog. Hufanga, man, he's just continues to just be absolutely amazing. Needs to start grabbing those interceptions that are thrown right at him, but he's just been amazing. Justin Sternad, he's been absolutely amazing out there. I love what I'm seeing from Sternad, and kind of saw it a little bit. We did give up some runs. You could maybe say that was because we're missing Singleton. I don't really know. But I would love to see. I don't think Singleton is good enough to begin 100% of snaps. I think Sternad proved why he deserves a lot of snaps. Um, so I mean, really, we gotta find a way to get Sternad involved on this defense when fully healthy, while also getting Singleton and Greenlaw there on the field. I really hope Vance Joseph can figure that out because Justin Sternad looks like one of the best linebackers in the league this year. He's been amazing. Love everything I'm seeing from him. He's just been a great, amazing player for us. There's just no other way around it. He's just been amazing. Uh, Will Lutz, I talked about earlier this year after the Colts game, after missing a field goal that kind of cost us the game. I'm not the biggest Will Lutz guy. I'm not, and I really wasn't then. But I was wrong. I was straight up wrong there. He's been absolutely clutch. He's been hitting every field goal in the clutch. Uh, he had a huge 54-yarder this week, which I was fully expecting him to miss. But I'm done doubting Will Lutz because he's just been proving me wrong every time. And if he goes out there and if he misses a field goal, I'll start doubting him again, and hopefully he starts making them again. And hopefully it's just me needing to do a reverse jinx a little more, like I've needed to do a couple times this year on Twitter, where I just kind of go crazy mid game when we're down and everything, and we get these huge fourth quarter comebacks. I mean, it's just Will Lutz has just been amazing. There's no other way around it. Sean loves him, and for good reason. For good reason. He's gone out there and balled out. There's just no other way around it. The wide receivers, um, this is kind of a hot topic because we tried getting Jalen Waddle. It's kind of sound like it would cost a first and third. I personally would have done that. Our first won't be it. it's gonna be upper 20s probably this year. And the third is I mean, sure you can get some good value out of a third, but we just have a really all around solid team. So I mean, it would be a third that wouldn't play for a couple of years. Jalen Waddle's a really good receiver. He catches the ball. Has one of the better uh, catching like rates or whatever in the league. Does not drop the ball all that often. I know he did have one this last week, so everybody was kind of using that like, haha, look, we didn't trade for him. He drops the ball. That's why we didn't trade for him. But he's a really solid player. I wish we got him. But obviously, big problem with the receiving core is drops. Um, and Troy Franklin really showed that. He had two big drops to start this game, really, but he didn't look back after that. He had clutch catch after clutch catch. That deep ball from Bo was absolutely beautiful to him, and he made a really tough catch. And then to end the game there, to adjust, him and Bo just have great chemistry. He knew he was run to the outside. Bo threw it on his inside shoulder. And Troy kind of, it seemed like he knew what Bo was doing all along. Amazing play call, amazing play by our young quarterback and young receiver who obviously have a lot of chemistry from playing together in college. Um, that's that's really why Troy is leading this team in targets. Lots of that is screens, RPOs, uh, just give him the ball quick because he's an explosive receiver. Sean has said that, but also Bo has such a good chemistry with him, and Bo trusts him even if he drops the ball sometimes. So that's something at least for this year, we're probably just going to have to get over as Broncos fans. Troy will drop the ball. He will. But he will go out there and still make clutch catches. And as long as he continues to do that, I can look past the drops. That's not the end of the world because he went out there, had a really good game, 4 receptions, 84 yards on 8 targets. At least two of those are drops. Bo also does target him a lot on kind of just like throwing it away. Troy happens to be in the area a lot because Bo is looking that way a lot. So if Troy's not open, that's sometimes Bo's last resort. So he just throws it away near Troy. So that counts as a target. Um, so I mean, yeah, it's just been the receivers have been amazing. Cortland Sutton's kind of not really slowed down all that much this year. 17th in yards. He had 59 this last game on 4 receptions. He's just old reliable, especially in the clutch for Bo. He had a huge 3rd and 15, super reminiscent to last year's Chiefs game where Bo stepped up in the pocket, threw it on 3rd down, on the run over the middle to Cortland Sutton. It was similar. He just kind of always finds a way to get open when Bo really, really, really needs him. So I mean, his production might go down and down. But I mean, I don't think he cares that much about that as long as we're winning football games. And a big reason for that is him uh, getting all this extra attention. So he continues to ball out. He's giving more opportunities to Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin just by being out there. He he gets so much attention, and that's something huge, and it's really helpful when that player who's getting attention from the defense, they're getting double teamed a lot, they're being focused on a lot, they got the best corner on them. It's really good for them to not be selfish and know that they won't get the most targets, they won't get the most yards, they won't get all the touchdowns in the world, even though he has gotten a lot of touchdowns this year. It's just it's really good to see. Cortland Sutton, really good player. I love him. Um, Again, you can bring up the drops about him, but he shows up clutch. Uh, so I mean, yeah, you just can't argue that all that much. Otherwise, Marvin Mims was back. Didn't really get involved that much. Didn't take too many snaps. I don't know what the exact number was, but again, he missed 2 weeks, so it's gonna be slower. He's gonna get ramped up. But his impact was shown on a huge punt return. His impact on special teams is just huge. It's just been he's been amazing. I guess we could talk about Jaleel here for a second. 6 carries, 19 yards, had a touchdown. Kind of got carried in on that touchdown. 1 reception for -5 yards. Pretty sure that's busted screenplay. So I mean, again, not an amazing game, but against a really good Chiefs defense, I'm perfectly fine having Jaleel as our two back. Really solid, explosive player, no strong system. So yeah, just keep. I think we're in a good spot running the football. Kind of bring me into the next point of what this team looks like without J.K. Dobbins for the rest of the year. Because prayers up to J.K. He's out for the year. Sucks. Injuries have just been a huge part of his career, sadly. And that it just really hurts. But we drafted RJ second round, probably knowing something might happen to JK. So we have RJ. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be really good this year. I said it before, but he had a very solid game against a really good defense. We got the W. He had some clutch carries. I think Jaleel looks really solid as a two back, especially. Tyler Bidet will continue to be that third down back, picks up a lot of blocks. Adam Prentice, I know this got more reps out of the backfield, mainly just blocking, but he did have a reception for 14 yards. Um, Prentice has been really solid for us this year, not just as a blocker, but he's received sometimes when he's needed to, and that's always good to have from a fullback, especially when you're missing Nate Atkins, because that's something Nate Atkins really thrives at. So um, that's just a whole nother thing because this offense is without a huge scheme piece to this team. Nate Atkins ain't gonna do everything on the stat sheet, but he's gonna show up. He's gonna block. He's gonna communicate. He's gonna catch the ball if he's targeted. He's gonna get open. He can do a little bit of yak because we sometimes give him screenplays, which sometimes work. So I mean, yeah, just great player there, Nate Atkins. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets fully healthy, if he gets carries every once in a while. Kind of see him as a little bit of a Taysom Hill. Obviously, he won't get the ball as much. He's not as quick, not as agile, but that's perfectly fine. There's not any other Taysom Hills out there exactly. Uh, what else? What else? Oh, Evan Ingram. He looked really good. Didn't get all the reps in the world, but he had a nice screenplay we set up for him. That's kind of what we were anticipating him being for the Joker. RJ's really turned into that though. But yeah, Ingram's looking solid. 4 receptions, 33 yards, 36 yards yak. I mean, yeah, just the offense. It has all of the pieces to be amazing. It really does. It has all the pieces to be an amazing offense. We just got to put that together, and hopefully that starts in a playoff run. Because if this offense just gets going just a little bit more, nobody's beating us. Our defense is just amazing. Nobody's beating us. Plain and simple. If this offense gets going, we're not getting beat. Um, so let's hope they get going. So I mean, really, that's really what I got from this game. I said it. The Denver Broncos we're legit. There's no other way around it. I love what I'm seeing from everybody. Um, Offense keeps cooking and everything. I can't really think of anything else to talk about from this game. I'll probably touch on it a little bit more next week when I kind of go over how the season's been going. Hopefully, I'll get some other people like Ben, Joel, Normie back on here for the next podcast, so we can talk about it a little bit more then. But yeah, the Denver Broncos. Don't 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 let this get out of your head. We are legit Super Bowl contenders. We just dethroned the Kansas City Chiefs. We are in first place, and I think for the rest of this season we are set up really pretty to stay first place in the AFC West and to get first place in the AFC overall, possibly. Um, I was kind of thinking about, do I want the bye week? Do I not? Because you never know how a team's going to come out of the bye week. But after seeing how this team came out with a mini bye, going out being the Kansas City Chiefs, I would not mind that bye week. So I mean, yeah, just really excited for us this year. We're looking really solid. And yeah, I love this team, man. This team's just amazing all around. I love everybody on it. Special teams is kind of the only, especially the coaching on special teams, the only thing that I really kind of dislike right now. Rizzy has not impressed me, but otherwise loving this team. We just went out there. We beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Um, and we really hurt they're not winning the AFC West, guaranteed. they might not make the playoffs. We helped that scenario become a very real possibility. They're not playoff locks. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Uh, this was just a huge W for Broncos country. I cannot overstate that more. Huge W. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all have a great day. Go Broncos, baby.